Hey everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Your host, Superman in the house. Man. Do you want profits out in the future, or do you want profits today? That's the question you should ask yourself. Do you want profits out in the future as well? Maybe you can ask that question as well. So you can think about what I'm saying there. It's a little bit of an alpha drop there, right there. If you can interpret it correctly, let me know in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Do you want profits today, or do you want them in the future? And of course, do you want them probably today, or do you want them possibly in the future? Think about that. And of course, maybe you can have the possible profits in the future as well. I'll let you think about that. If you know what I'm talking about, post it in the chat, folks. Post it in the chat. All right, cool. Let's get into it, folks. Welcome, of course. Woohoo! It's Superman in the house. And of course, man. We've been having a good time on this channel, I must say. Welcome to everybody, of course, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe on the way in. Smash that like button as well. Let's get into it. Brian's in the house there, our community lead, woohoo, along with Fat Sammy in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, the link's in the video description, so definitely check that out. We've got Chance Nicey in there, woohoo, good to see you as well. And I think a recent recipient, I think, Chance, was it? We had KD drop 5 channel memberships yesterday and the day before. So a big shout out to KD, one of our moderators in the chat. So big shout out. Big congratulations to, I haven't actually talked about that. Maybe we'll look at that later on. But a big congratulations to Texan Token. They finished their sacrifice yesterday. And of course, a big shout out to big Pulsechain Hex YouTubers, also Texan Token, of course, Rag to Riches and Crypto Harpy. Done a great job with that. So we're looking forward to that. Now they're going to be moving on to focus on a mass adoption for Pulsechain. So we'll keep you abreast of some of those developments. And of course, we're playing a supporting role in that on this channel and in our Discord. So pretty cool. Elias Beneath in house. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Hex, EX, PLS, and PLS for the win. Very much so. That is the maxi channel of this channel. We're proud to be supporting that, because if you want the very best out of the best in crypto, then that's the way you should play. The Richard Hart Foundation of crypto is the best. Katie's in the house there. Woohoo! Good to see you, Katie. And of course, we got Sandy Beechin as well, another one of our moderators, and Katie, of course. We just talked about Katie. A couple of our moderators in the chat. Awesome. Who else is in there? Blobfish King. A morning all from Australia. G'day, the Blobfish King. And of course, who else is in there? We've got Rango's in the house. Morning, you bunch of fantastic people. I love that, Rango. Hats off to you. I'll take my hats off. There we are. This is my Top Gun hat. That Top Gun hat. There, I think it disappeared in the green screen, but this is the way it goes. Hello, Hex Token. Everybody says Sandy Beach. Christine's in the house there. Good to see you, Christian. Christian's in the house there. Hello, Familia. And of course, got my first, was it 2038 stake today? My first 2038 stake. I'm not sure what that means, Rango. What stake? Are you talking about Hex stake? I guess you're talking about Hex stake. Nice one. Not Hex stake. It's not that long. Not that many days. Can't be a Hex stake then. Not quite sure what you mean there, Rango. Let us know in the chat. Chance says, hey, KD, thank you for the membership. I really appreciate it. Yeah, big shout out to KD once again for shouting out, 10 memberships. Pretty awesome. And Shane's in the house there. Yo, hey, good to see you, Shane. No one's got my little alpha drop that I just gave up before. I mean, you got to interpret it. I mean, to be fair. But that's just the way it goes. So here we are on hex.com. A link is in the video description. Of course, check it out. And we have big news. The title of my video, Hex share rate jumps over 580 Hex. Now, we've had a couple of these days recently, haven't we, really? And of course, 24, not recently, I guess, not too far back. Let's put it that way. To 24,900. So we're going to look at that. That's a pretty big deal. Hey. And Tintop's in the house. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop, as well. Andrew as well. Happy Monday, says Andrew. Good to see you as well. So cool. All right, let's get into it, folks. Here we're at hex.com. Check it out and make sure you, become part of our community. Obviously, do your investment due diligence. Let's get into the results for Hex. And of course, we had this giant stake come out, a large stake here, 88 million Hex, folks, an APY, an ROI of 142%. We know what that moves the share price up there, a 50.8% APY, pretty juicy. Look at that reward, 125 million Hex, OMG. Served 1,024 days, served it out completely, 14,245 TShares, Woo-hoo-hoo! Hot doggity dog. That is pretty much it. Driving the share rate looks amazing, but apparently didn't mint his Hedron. Can you believe it? Didn't mint the Hedron, which is kind of a little bizarre, but hey, man, some crazy stuff right there. Assuming a 10x multiplier, this one stake would have generated 160 billion Hedron, $560,000 current spot value, and did not. That will now never exist. So that is, I don't know what they're thinking. Mate, they must have been out of the loop or something, but missed out on that. So some crazy stuff. Some crazy stuff right there. Some crazy stuff there, Willie. All right, so that was pretty much it on the Whalebot. Did I lose the Whalebot? I think I lost the Whalebot. Where's the Whalebot gone? We're going to go to the Whalebot here. Let's find the Whalebot. I think I lost the Whalebot. Oh, that's the way it goes. Where's the Whalebot? Come back, Whalebot. We want to talk to you, my friend. And of course, that was huge. 4 hours ago, folks. 4 hours ago. And of course, the share rate has jumped. Yes, it has. Yeah, boy. So let's have a quick look at the share rate at the moment. It has jumped up to 24,902. Yesterday, it was 24,319. That's a major jump, folks. We're going to see that in the Hex Daily Stats results when we cover them later on. But, man, 24,902, a big jump, man, a big jump. So let's do some math on that. So let's go 582 times 0.31, I think it is at the moment. 32, let's do 0.032. That is $18.62 more to get a TShare. The only way to make that cheaper is by staking. Longer pays better, up to 10 years. That would be $6.20. $6.20, but $18.62 more per TShare. If you're doing short staking, that's a big deal. So those short stakers that we've got that are short staking, those large holders, a lot more per TShare now, basically. So they're getting diluted in the TShares. Woohoo! Stake longer. Stake longer. That's pretty much it. So it's a really profound move today on the TShare rate, folks. Really cool. Let's actually scroll back there a little bit on the TShare rate and see whether we can find any more. And of course, let's do that. Bam. Let me just get rid of that comment. I just realized, hey, I think we've got a new member. Let's have a quick look at that. TShares are getting scarce, says Brennan. They are indeed. This is the secret sauce to Hex, by the way, is the TShare. You still need, supply and demand and growth and things like that, but the TShare is the secret sauce. And of course, the amount of TShares over time, and you can see that's going to cost people a lot more. Very cool. Tin Top says 2038 minus 2022, 15.2 years. Yeah, maybe I didn't interpret that one very well. Brian says, hey, folks, good to see Brian. And of course, hello. Wookie's in the house. Good to see Wookie as always. And of course, Sandy Beach, we're going to be looking at B shares in the future. I know that's true. So B share, folks, means billions of shares rather than T shares, trillions of shares. So just another 1,000 difference there in the number. Brian and Wookie, hello, says Sandy Beach. And of course, Patman, woohoo! Hey, good to see you, Patman in the house. And Shano, new member, woohoo! I got to do Superman bow down to Shano. And of course, Shano's been killing it out there, getting involved and become famous. Shano become famous, pretty cool. But he's been really contributing in the community there and getting involved, learning as much as possible. And that's really the secret sauce there. Learn as much as possible. Ask the people that you hear saying cool things. And Shano's been doing that. So a big shout out. And Shano's just become a member on this channel. So I think you might become a Hex Token channel member, which is pretty awesome. Oh, a Richard Hart Club member, sorry, which is a pretty awesome support there. I do appreciate Shano. Now, if you haven't joined and supported the channel, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechains, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. Those are 3 memberships, and just a cool way of supporting this channel as we primarily talk about Pulsechain and Hex, but of course, a lot of the projects onto Pulsechain as well. So Richard Hart, the founder of Hex, is also forking Ethereum proof of stake as Pulsechain. And of course, that means a lot of projects are coming in. And so that's why we're talking about so many more projects now. They're coming onto Pulsechain. And so we welcome new communities into the fold, as it were. So pretty cool. We got Shano as well. These people need to stick a note on their computer. Please mint my Hedron. Yeah, true. I agree on that, especially when it's worth $500,000. Some pretty crazy stuff there. Welcome, Shano, says Sandy Beach. Had to rejoin. My card expired. Says happy to be back. So Shano has been a member before. It must be a rejoin. So nice one, Shano. Appreciate that. And now that you're saying that, I kind of remember that kind of flashbacking, And Christian says it took a big jump. It did indeed. And this is part of the magic of Hex, is the share rate. So the share rate is very pivotal. We talk about it just about every day on this channel. We go through the Hex Daily Stats, as you guys know. pretty consistently. I think I missed out yesterday because I got confused yesterday. That's just between you and me. We don't have to talk about it publicly. And there we are. So that's pretty much it. Brian says use app.hexwin. It has a button that says Mint Hedron and takes you to the page to do so. I like that, Brian. Woohoo! And Big Kahuna in the house there. Good to see you as well. Rango says, I said a 5555 and Stake Hex today. Website shows it as 2038. I'll take it. Okay, now I'm understanding, Rango. So sorry about that earlier. I have some liquid Hex. I need to stake some of it. Nice one, Sandy Beach. I'm glad I'm listening to Brian. Longer pays better. It does indeed, Christian. And of course, you got to get those T-shares. I like a staking ladder myself. I think that's kind of appropriate for most people's lives. Some people like to max out the mathematics because after 10 years, up to 15 years, that's when the best mathematics in terms of rewards happens. It really goes up like this, up and to the right there. But definitely, it depends on your age and your lifestyle and things like that. So you just got to do a staking ladder appropriate to you, really. All right, so cool. We're going to come back to Hex Day stats later on for the latest days. And of course, I'm just going back here to see when was our last really big day. 745. So this was it back on day 1014. We had a 545 that day. And of course, that was a big jump. So the T-share jumped from 23,364 to 24,109. Why am I going back and showing this? Is because I just wanted to show you how important the share rate is. And when we have these big ROIs from these big large holders, and they're going to come out in the future again and again, every so often, not as regularly, but we will come up to periods where there are long stakers that have not early in-staked or anything like that. And of course, this one was 745. And it's going back a bit further to see where the last one before that was. So that was the last one. And of course, let's go back to see that. We're going to see that 582 come out today. So the last one before that, so this is the last one before that was day 911, and we jumped from 21,933 to 22,688. So it's really cool to look at this because it gives you a better understanding of how Hex is working, and the share rate is just going up and to the right. So when I talk about a lot of those short, large holders that are staking, they're just getting diluted. So is everybody else, but they're getting diluted more powerfully because they're not doing longer pays better, right? They're not doing longer pays better. They're doing short pays earlier. That's what they're doing, right? You've heard Dipcatcher say that earlier pays now, early pays today. I can't exactly remember, but they don't get the longer pays better, right? So, and that's a big deal because you want that T-share in there. It's kind of like a money printer. And of course, that's how you earn more Hex. So pretty cool. And what's the other thing that we focus on this channel? Circulating supply. Why do we focus on that? Because we want there to be less circulating. It reduces the velocity of crypto and allows any growth in the ecosystem to accelerate that price and, of course, increase the propensity for the liquidity pool, which is ultimately the short-term determiner of the price, supply and demand, the liquidity pool. And we want to lower that propensity for Hex to move in there. And the next Hex that's in circulating supply, the propensity is lower because we get inactive liquid Hex in the wallet. So that's kind of why we talk about a lot of these themes on this channel, because that's really what really matters. The one before that was 239 on day 875. We jumped from 21.4 to 21.657. So it just gives you an idea of the last couple that have really made a big deal. We had a 49 the day before that too. We're pretty interesting there. And of course, day 1049, we're going to get a big increase of 582. We'll come back to that later in the live stream as well. All right, so cool. At the moment, of course, if you buy Hex, you're going to get a copy on the Pulsechain. And of course, Richard gave us a real big alpha drop. I'm actually very happy about this. I think it's really bullish for Pulsechain. And of course, I think it actually solves some problems that I think were occurring. And it's actually put us in a strong footing going forward. So I'm very excited about the announcement. So let's quickly have a look at Richard Hart's update about the Pulsechain fork, which is coming up. We can see that the block explorer, this is based on the BSC fork, which they had bugs and issues with. So now we're just going to have a very simplified version and maybe increase the speed a little bit. That's probably, and maybe the S-load function as well for the Hex end stakes. It'll be interesting to hear any news about that. All right, cool. Let's have a look at Richard's update. Let's go.
I feel that the security considerations for Pulsechain's consensus strength are very, 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 very similar to Ethereum 2.0's. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense.
We're forking Ethereum 2.0, not Ethereum 1.0. So you beat it out of me, you fucks. You wore me down, okay? So the logic was do we have more faith in the BSC consensus, which we found flaws in, or rotating to several other options of not very well audited consensus, or the extremely well audited Ethereum 2.0 consensus? And my logic is that if you're going to make things right, doing them during a bear is a beautiful time to do it. And I think it will be quicker to use Ethereum 2.0's consensus than to properly audit and secure Corellia, which is a version of Click, which is what has a lot of problems. And so it was maximum secure and minimum time to market, because we didn't know, like, you didn't know whether the merge was going to work right. Could have not worked right. And you didn't know if they'd ever get to doing it, because the delays were nearly endless. Yep. But after they did it, and after it worked right, it was the obvious choice. And so Pulsechain will have upgrades, but be primarily the same consensus mechanism that Ethereum 2.0 uses, but is now called Ethereum 1, right? Like, no one called it's not right. Ethereum 2 is now Ethereum 1 since the merge worked. So it's strong, it's safer, it's faster, and any upgrades that come in the future for Ethereum, such as sharding, we will get on our chain. And we wouldn't have got had we stayed with Ethereum 1, because the forks would have diverged. And so it's just better. So we're doing what's better, and it didn't take us any extra time to do it. So it's actually good news. But I got savaged so hard for giving you guys an update last time that, like, I'm super not into it. Like, I feel like someone's gonna make me eat shit for giving the good news basically now. I bet someone will. Someone will bother me and make me feel bad. Someone will make me feel bad about.
Bro, you got so many followers though, and I'm starting to feel.
I did the old mute again. So that was Richard Hart there on the Pulsechain update, which is really cool. So we're going to better security and faster, and it's going to happen sooner, which is great. We don't have the BSC issues, which are obviously manifesting. And yeah, it's going to be great for everybody. They may even be slightly faster, the chain, and of course the S-load function. They'll have control over that. So I think that's pretty cool. So very, very nice. All right, cool. Let us get into the next one here. We've got the charts of all these large stakers. So the share rate just jumped up 582. And of course, we've got these short-term stakers here. Look at this. So this is the 300 line. This is the first line. We've got 1, 2, 3 over that. And then we've got a couple. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of those below it. So all these large holders that are short staking in here. There will be some long-term stakes in there, not just short stakes in these candles. But they are now getting diluted by about $18 per TShare. Some of these have got a lot of TShares in there, and so they're getting diluted that way. For playing the short game, they get to scrape the interest short, get paid earlier, but the TShares get diluted in the reward pool. We can also see that the big candles are disappearing, at least for the time being. Obviously, if these all stacked up against each other on the same day, we could get a billion candle there. We haven't seen that for some time. So things are changing at the moment, and slowly as we move forward in time, at least until we come up to some of the bigger candles in the future. That's pretty cool. So very, very nice. Very nice. All right, cool. You just got to wait out the time and get your TShares, accumulate that Hex, and that's the way to go. So cool. And obviously with the Maximus team perpetuals, the base trio, Lucky and Decimus, I mean, we've got over 810 million Hex off the playing field in terms of stakes. Those people are getting rewarded for doing that. And of course, it's better off for the circulating supply of Hex. The other thing, of course, is we've got the HSI ACOSA stakes. So that's all playing, or Hedron stakes, HSI Hex stakes. And of course, man, there's so many names. You just put these names together and sort of add them all together. ACOSA, Hedron, HSI, Hex stakes. I mean, it's basically a Hex HSI stake, but you get my point. All right, so cool. That is looking really good. And that's getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions off it. It really is fantastic. I'm going to bring my waterfall chart up at some stage. So it's going to be cool. All right, so that is pretty much some of the highlights there. Big day for the Hex with these big jumps in share rates. Significant. Anyway, so at the moment, of course, you're going to get Hex on the Pulsechain. We've heard from Richard Hart himself. We're going to have, it's going to be much closer now, I believe. So very excited about that. Let's get into some of the stuff that's coming up. We've got the federal interest rates coming up. They are the big deal in the market. They are meaning we're going from cheap money to more expensive money. And of course, we're expecting at least one more big rate rise. And of course, we've got the Fed interest rate decision coming up on the 2nd November. So not later in the month, because there's only 8 meetings a year for the Federal Reserve, not 12. It's not one every month. It's 8 a year, and they have different time frames. So the next meeting for November is actually at the beginning of November. So it is the 2nd of November. So put that in your calendars, folks, because you want to be careful around your investing around there, because we just don't know how the market's going to react. Theoretically, it should be priced in, but we'll see how we get on there. Now, the federal funds rate at the moment is 3.25%. So we get a 75 basis points, should take us up around the 3.75 to 4% there. So we'll see. They may surprise to the downside with the 50 basis points if they're going to play for the midterms. We'll see what they do there, because that is a decent theory to have. So we'll see, given the policy making that they've been heading towards. The other thing, of course, then the last meeting for the year is going to be in December. This is December the 14th. So put this in your calendar, folks. So the 2nd of November is the first Fed interest rate rise before the end of the year, and the second one here is on the 14th of December. So that's back in the middle of the month in December there. So that is the final one. We're probably expecting a lower rate there, maybe 50 basis points, maybe even we might even possibly get a softer one, but probably 50 basis points would get us up to, around about 4.5% or so on the federal funds rate, which is kind of their target. And of course, they may, let's see whether they're that aggressive. Maybe into 23, on February, we might get, which is the next meeting, maybe we'll get a 25 basis points. We'll see. We really don't want interest rate rises running into the next year. We would rather have the inflation rate just nominally come back. Remember, it came in at 8.2% for September. So we just want that to just slowly pull back, just organically pull back. And that will mean that you won't have to raise the rates as much. So that could play out. Remember, their target is 2%, which is a pretty standard target for, central banks. And also they're getting a bit of pressure from other central banks around the world as well, because the impact it's having on exchange rates and weaker currencies. Remember, the US is a reserve currency. So that's kind of where we're at this moment. So those are the two key dates. Obviously, there's lots of other important things coming up at the moment. I will do a video as normal. I'll probably do a little bit earlier, probably in a week, in the next week, on the economic indicators coming up for November. And so I look forward to that. I've been doing that. It's been quite good. All right, cool. That is the economic calendar coming up. So 2nd November and the 14th of December. Those are the interest rate reviews. Very fundamental dates here as we move from cheap money into more expensive money. And of course, we already see residential rates up at around 7.5%. So you can imagine they're going to be heading probably towards 9% or something like that. That's a big deal, right? We're already seeing cracks in the residential market. People, got to be able to afford things, right? So high inflation, things are getting pretty tricky out there now. We're at that tricky range at the moment. So keep watching. Obviously, if we only get that last 75 basis points that softens down from there, then that maybe the bear market's in. And we'll see. All right, so cool. Let us jump over to crypto. Crypto not looking too bad, man. Not looking too bad at all. Oh, the one thing I was going to say as well is that the US futures is positive here. So up 0.6% at the moment. So that's looking positive and very, very exciting about that. So we may have a good day in the office when the US market's open because the futures are looking good. And the crypto, of course, is looking good too. At the moment, up 1.1% on BTC at 19,280. Ethereum up 2.4%, up at $1,300, and BNB at up 1.3% to 272. So we're looking pretty good there. We've got Aave is looking pretty stellar, And of course, we're going to have a fork of Aave, the Fiat project, on the Pulsechain. And I would like to see other projects go fork Aave too. I would love to see Power City fork Aave. I think that would be awesome and have their own version. Yeah, that'd be cool. Every cat and their dog can fork Aave, and it'd be pretty nice to see that. So yeah, if you've got a cat and a dog out there, think about forking Aave. But no, Power City I think would be ideal to fork Aave. So if Power City's out there, fork Aave, man, do it. Add it to your projects. Let's get it done. Let's not muck around. And if you want to launch on some other chains, you feel free. Go for gold. All right, so cool. Let's get into it, folks. The Hex price at the moment is currently at 3.17 cents at the moment. There we go. Woo! And of course, a great accumulation phase here to eat up some Hex, get those Hex stakes in. Of course, the share rate just got more expensive. 582 more Hex you need to a TShare, but you can still a longer pays better. You can get up to 200% bonus shares when you stake your Hex. So when you stake your Hex gets burnt, and in return you get shares, and that's your ownership of the reward pool. So the more you have, the more of the rewards you get. So that's pretty cool. At the moment, we're just chilling along down the bottom. The Bollinger Bands on here on the linear charts. There's not a log chart here. And of course, we've got a little bounce back off the bottom here of 3.098 cents. And we're currently just under 3.2 cents at the moment, heading back to the middle of the EMA 13, which is in yellow. That's the EMA 13. When we get a good size cross with the narrow Bollinger Bands, we can often get a reversal in the trend. And of course, at the moment, this one here did tease us here about the Bollinger Bands weren't tight enough. That's probably the biggest clue there. And we crossed back under. So we'll be looking at a nice cross, get this tight Bollinger Bands. That'd be pretty cool. And let's have a look at the DMI at the moment. I haven't brought this chart up for a while. We've got the buyers here just sort of showing a little bit more strength. The sellers just leveling off here. Maybe we'll get a cross of the buyers and sellers soon. It's kind of looking good. We've got the RSI as well, looking like we've got plenty of room for a nice little price rally. We just need a little bit more oomph, as it were. Maybe we might get that in the end of November. Maybe that's when it's going to happen. At the moment, of course, the stochastic RSI, we've got a positive cross here. And, of course, we can maintain that. We can have a really nice rally too. So we've got some nice little preconditions, but that's not to say that it's inevitable. And, of course, we'll be watching the tightening of the Bollinger Bands. And, of course, this EMA cross of the red line. The red line's a 50% price range. We'd like to see that crossover and, of course, get a narrow tight band on the Bollinger Bands, which is the top blue line and the bottom blue line. That's the top 95% at the top and the bottom 5% of the price range at the bottom there. So we want to see that tighten up a bit, and away we go. So that's pretty much Hex on the chart there. Let's jump over to the Hex ecosystem charts, and let's have a look here. Just going to make sure. Yeah, I was going to play that soon. So cool. We've got the Hex price here, obviously on the hourly chart now. So, oh no, it's still the daily, so it's the same chart. We've got Hedron here, which is one of my. I've got two probable plays at the moment. One is Hedron, the other one is PLSD / Pulse Bitcoin, and of course those are the probable plays. We've also got a speculative play, which is BNBPot, so we're going to talk about that. It's a spotlight project at the moment, so stay tuned for that. We've got the Hedron at the moment is at 3388, which is nice. It's coming back to our support line. Let's just get rid of the RSI there. And, of course, let's pull that up there. So nice here, looking good. And, of course, the entry is looking pretty juicy in here. We're getting closer and closer to the big auctions, and that's less than a month away. I really think that this might trigger maybe in the next couple of days, probably 3 weeks out. We could start seeing people accumulating. We're still holding this uptrend as well. So definitely one of the probable plays as we come into that massive Hex HSI auction. And of course, we've also got Poly Maximus out there. I'm doing a video on that later, so I'll post that as well, Poly Maximus. So it's going to be pretty exciting, folks. That's one of the probable plays there. Icosa at the moment is currently at $1.05, holding up pretty nicely, pretty much tied to the HSI buybacks and Hex for the most part. We've got the Hex base at the moment. I haven't talked about the ratios for these. So Maximus successfully launched the perpetuals, remember, with 810 million Hex, and of course the 92 million Maxi got reallocated as well. At the moment, of course, we've got the Hex base ratio is currently at 0.985, which is pretty interesting. So that's probably what I would expect to see on that at the moment. So that's pretty cool. We've got the Hex trio. So the trio is the 3 year, if you remember, the Hex trio. So we've got it at 0.945. That makes sense, but 3 years longer. more value in there, so that's not surprising there. The lucky, of course, the Hex to lucky ratio, that's a 7-year. And of course, this is actually strategically, this is probably the most interesting one because it's coming out just before all the 10-year Hex stakes over in 2030. So this makes a lot of sense here. It's currently at 0.987, which is pretty interesting. It's actually more similar to the base one. So that's pretty funny. But I don't think it gets enough love that it deserves. But that's where it is at the moment. So probably an opportunity in the future. It is 7 years out. It's probably the issue there. So let's have a look at the Hex Decimus. This is the longer one. This is the closest one to Maximus, 10 years. And of course, the premium at the moment, 95.77. The liquidity pools, I think, are fairly thin on these. So you have to check those. I don't check the liquidity pools. I just got the charts here. So it's probably something, if I was going to look at it a bit closer, that's what you should do. So I'm just leaving it as a caveat on the liquidity pools there as well. But definitely the trio is looking the juiciest there at the moment. So let's see how that goes. So 1 hex per trio. The Maxi USDC, now I've lost my peering. Some of the charts got knocked off for some reason. I have no idea. But let me just see this at the moment. It's got 6.2 cents. This one doesn't have the ratio on it. So I need to pull up the right chart. So I apologize for that. I'm not sure what the ratio is at the moment. Last time I checked, it was 1.98 hex per Maxi. So I haven't got that chart. I'll try and add that another time. Let's jump over to the airdrops at the moment. So the airdrops PLSD, and of course this is the second probable play is the PLSD Pulse Bitcoin play, and of course this is pretty soon. I think very soon now, and looking forward to that probably this week is my guess. So let's see how we get on. We're currently at I know that the audit was 70% done. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So this must be getting very, very close indeed. We're currently at $6.03. Really nice little entry position here. And of course, the all-time high was $9.53. And I think, what could this do? Could do some crazy stuff, especially if there's a big burn for some sort of Bitcoin miner with the PLSD. So we're watching that pretty closely. We know that there's been some pretty vocal community members like Wolverine out there talking about it. So we will see. And let's jump over to some of the updates from the team there. And we've got Pulse Bitcoin and Twitter. Some of you thought I was bluffing out Pulse Bitcoin. Nope, I wasn't bluffing. It's a thing. It's on its way. So close. And I do believe it's very close this time. I know he's used the word imminent incorrectly consistently, which is terrible. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you think it's good marketing, but don't. I know I've been talking about it, so maybe it is good marketing. But stop doing it. Use the word soon. If it's a couple of weeks, you soon. Stop using imminent. Imminent's like 24 hours. That's kind of my feeling for that. So anyway, you do what you want. It's a free world, but well, mostly free. So there we are. All right, cool. That is the update there. So that's pretty cool. It is getting very close, folks. So we're looking forward to this. This is the second big probable play, as I say. Obviously, make sure you do investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel is investment advice, as I always say. All right, just my opinions, as it say. And here we are, the weight token at 0006193. Now, talking about free claims in the Discord, I have reorganized the Discord, and I'm trying to continue to do that, make it easier to get to the stuff that people want. And of course, if we go down to if you get the link to the Discord, it's in the video description. We've got quite a few new people just arrived, so a big welcome to them over the last couple of days. We had Moma Medic there, we had B-Town, Bolly 307, Kurt Arrowman, Newt B there, Elaine and Rita today. So a big welcome to all of those people. Crypto Punk the other day there as well. Monkey Feet, Mooks, and Robert Kim. So a big shout out to all the new members. We're heading up towards 850 members, which is pretty cool. But if you join, the link is in the video description. We go down to the new Pulse chains. I have broken this out a bit. So we've got new Pulse chain chat, new token chats for all the projects. I don't care what you talk about as long as it's not a known scam or spam. And of course, the spotlight projects there is currently BNBPot. So they'll be putting what I think is a really amazing project there. And of course, Pulsechain projects is all the projects. So we've got the list there of all the projects, Pulsechain Sacrifice projects, Pulsechain, all the list, the full list of projects on the Pulsechain news, the Pulse Police, of course, if you want to get some security checks on certain things, and of course, a few other things as well. Now, the other thing, the new group I've made is airdrop free claims. So people can just find out people always asking, what's the free claim? What's airdrop? What's for free? Everyone wants stuff for free, right? So that's why I cover stuff for free. Whether you mint it or not, or whether you claim it or not, that's up to you. Make sure you do investment due diligence. And of course, we do have the Pulse Police. So at the moment on this list, we've got the weight free claim. That's on now until Pulsechain. And of course, their 8 sacrifice sets qualify. So there is conditions to some of these. Sometimes they're not just open to everybody. The next one, of course, is the Poor Pleb free claim. That's launching soon. Now, there is a warning on the site, and of course, someone didn't read it properly today, and you know who you are. You know who you are out there. Fake tokens have been discovered with the contract. Do not use. Poor Pleb contract has not launched yet. That's all this is saying. It's not saying that the site's a scam. It's just saying that there is a scammer out there trying to scam this community, but they haven't actually launched yet. So just remember that. So don't get confused by this particular site. The other thing, of course, is we've got the Kira airdrop. That is launching on the 11th November on the ETH chain, copy of Pulsechain. So that Kira is coming up there. Now, if you only qualify if you're in the Pulsechain Pulsex, and of course you're looking at 22 Kira, and this part of the launch is only on Pulsechain, so it's not happening yet. The ETH is launching, but that's different from the airdrop, so don't get confused there. And finally, the Texan token, which, as I said, congratulations to Rags and Crypto Heartbeat, closed yesterday on Sacrifice. They've got an airdrop, a free claim process for Texan token will begin this week. Anyone who sacrificed for PLSX, or had an active Hex stake as of July the 4th will be able to claim 1 million Texan tokens. Details will come this week. So that is pretty cool. If you participate, if you've got a Hex stake or you've sacrificed for Pulse or PulseX, you've got a potential to claim 1 million Texan token. Details will come. So awesome. Now, obviously, we've got Texan token in a subgroup inside the Pulsechain group here. And of course, you can get access to all info there. They are going to be focusing on moving forward on onboarding up to 500,000 people. And they're also actually doing a global outreach as well, but they're going to start in Texas, 500,000 people there to onboard no coiners into Pulsechain. So very excited about that next phase. And you'll see a lot of educational stuff coming out from there. I think actually they're going to have also a pay to learn scheme as well. So that could be pretty exciting. We like that a lot. So you might have seen stuff like that on Coinbase. So lots happening in the space, folks. So if you want to keep abreast of all the free claims and stuff like that, get into a Discord. We're trying to make this the greatest place on earth that people can safely learn about crypto. Get on board with the Pulsechain. And of course, people like free stuff. I like free stuff. You like free stuff. Come on, let's just be honest. The other thing, of course, is we've got the Richard Hart chat in the top there. Get involved. Hex Pulsechain. Get onto that. And of course, got useful links for everything there for Pulsechain and everything else. So it's pretty great. All right, so there it is. Let's jump away to, let me just close down some of these things. Bam, bam. And of course, we close that down too. So there is the airdrops there on the weight token. It had a little pump here on the weight token, as you can see. The weight token, most people have not claimed, maybe about, 120, 130 million. Most people have not claimed something like maybe 1.2 billion or so accrued at the moment. So people are just waiting for Pulsechain. You have to claim before Pulsechain launches, so people get more and more weight tokens every day for all their sacrifices. So that's like most people are not claiming. But nice little pump there and interesting stuff there. So we're currently we're out there at 0.6 of a penny, just trading in the range though, right? There's just a range. We're just trading in the range there. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the Zen. Just have a quick update on Zen. The price on Ethereum is currently at quadruple 0.3848. And the price on BSC is just leveled off here actually at 6.09154. That's kind of where that is at the moment. And of course, you can mint that yourself, so you can choose to do that. And it's up to you what you want to do. Now, that is a long play. That's a medium long play, even if it's successful. So it's a possible play. But on this channel, I'm more interested in probable plays, right? You want to get money now, you want to get exits now, then that's what we're focused on this channel. And of course, the best crypto. So just take into account on that one. So very nice. Very nice. All right, so cool. Let's get into our possible play. And of course, man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, we've got something for you. Our spotlight BNBPot, man. Let's see where it's at. Boom, 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 boom. Look at the pump. Huge, folks. So there we go. There's the charts for BNBPot. And of course, this is the best possible. I said it's a possible play. It's speculative. It's a crypto casino, so it's not like Hex, which is a savings product. It is casino. But that said, of course, Hex is based on an inflationary growth model with the very best design, as opposed to crypto casino, which is actually based on a business, right? So it's external to the investors. All the funds that are coming in external to investors. That's the magic source over there. So for the Hex, the TShare, the share rate is a magic source. For the BNBPot, The magic sauce is the fact that it's based on a business or based on external money coming in, and those are the people that love playing crypto casino games. And as we know, that is a ginormous business in the world, and of course, that is something like 60% of Americans alone play that some form of casino, and of course online we know that that's popular. But the difference, of course, on top of that difference is that this is the world's first fully decentralized peer-to-peer crypto casino, and that's a big deal, folks. Very, very exciting. So the magic sauce there, bing, bing, you heard it, bing, bing. So share rate, bing, and of course, external business. You basically got that going on. So it's pretty cool. All right, so you can see the chart's pretty stellar. Now, people probably got this around, maybe, let's say they got, they sacrificed for this. The sacrifice is closed, so I know a lot of people have been asking about that, but it closed a while ago. And of course, people that sacrifice are going to get airdropped on every single chain. They're doing 5 chains. So I think it's AVAX, Phantom, Polygon, Pulsechain, of course, which is what they wanted to go on first. That is the next target, depending on Pulsechain launch time frame. And of course, the first one they've gone on is PSC or BNB chain, which is very excellent. And of course, that's much more of a gambler chain too. If you think about a lot of the projects on there, something like 80% of the projects are tax projects on there. I mean, they have a tax every time you trade or this or that. So very, very cool. Now, at the moment, they have a whitelist for the first game coming up of about 12 tokens at this moment, but they're going to add more and more to that so people can use multiple tokens on the platform. It's pretty cool. So at the moment, look at this. Pretty amazing. So if you take it, in fact, people that sacrificed and they got the airdrop. So let's say that they did cost them $5. You know, not even that. Let's say $4.50 with some benefits, I think. So let's divide it by 5. Let's say that's 90 cents. And currently the price is at $23.08, 0.08 divided by 0.90 cents. Sacrifices have already, just on this chain alone, have made a 25x on this chain alone. So there we are. This is the only sacrifice, by the way, that I know of that's launched. And of course, this was the number 4th biggest sacrifice that we've had. And of course, it's made a 25x. It is probably one of the top 3 in terms of pumpamental design that is out there. Top 4, let's say top 4, because there's probably another one. And we may have a 5th one in the market there at the moment. So you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, right? So there we are. That's pretty much it. So $23 at the moment. I think it's probably going to naturally tend towards $30 because the playing value on the casino is $30. So it looks like it's heading towards there, and it may well go beyond. So if we get a lot of volume on the game, it's well likely to go beyond. Now, I've got all the links to BNBPot in the video description. If you want to buy BNB, you can do that. Obviously, do your own investment due diligence. You can also stake your BNB. I imagine we're going to have a big rush. We've got something like 66.5% staked. And, of course, if you include the Teens wallet, that's about 71%. And, of course, I expect a big rush in the last 48 hours, which is we were up to. So we're going to talk about that. So pretty nice there. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, if we get good volume to the casino, we could see this price push higher and higher and higher. I do have a 100x target based on the lowest sacrifice point of 70 cents of $70. So whether it meets that or not is another question. But I definitely think that's quite plausible. I have a possible number way higher than that if I did 1,000x at 700x, so $700. But of course, that's a possible thing. That's not a probable one. I think is probably more around that $70, but we'll see. The market will decide. I don't want to front run the volume. We get good volume through the casino though, then yeah, that number's definitely in target, right? So we have to wait and see what that looks like when it launches. Let's jump over to the BNBPot, and we can actually see that at the moment there's 66.57%, 66.59. So it's just gone up a bit. And I noticed that every time we have a little price run, we get more staking happen. I've noticed that. So price run, more staking, and so on. So that's pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is that this is launching in 1 day and 23 hours. Let me refresh it to make sure I've got the latest. 1 day, under 2 days to go, folks. Very, very exciting. And like I say, the dev that's running this, Jacob, he is one of the top devs. In fact, he may, hey, look, I don't know, can't rank them all perfectly, but he's from what I've seen him do so far, he's probably the very top dev we have in the space. And of course, he wanted to launch on Pulsechain. Pulsechain is not ready, so he's done a smart thing and launched on BNB. Once he gets all the games up running on here, of course, he can just take them all and put them on Pulsechain. That's pretty easy. So it's hard getting all the games up. You got to do all the maths. You got to do all the coding. He has like 4 mathematicians that he goes to. I mean, this guy is right up there So we're seeing that as well. It's got the best gamification design I've seen. If you haven't checked my video, it is in the video description. So you can check that out. Now, if you also want to see this, of course, you can go to useful links. You can scroll to at the bottom there. I've got the Spotlight project. Alternatively, you can go to the Spotlight project under Pulsechain projects, and you can see all the links there. That is the site where you can stake. And of course, that's the stake, this one here. The price one here is this price chart. And of course, you can trade with that. And of course, that will take you to Dex Screener. There is a place there you can buy that. And of course, my video on the fundamentals, which is the best out there. This is the best video on the fundamentals of Pulse BNBPot. Without a doubt, you can go and have a look for yourself if you don't believe me. And of course, you'll see all the fundamentals there, all combined, simplified for you to make it easier for you to pick up what's going on there. So check that out too. Pretty exciting. So we're looking forward to this 2 days to go, folks. And of course, this chart looks like it's just etching all the way up to $30, which is going to be the playing amount. And of course, looking very good at this stage. Now, we did have a bit of a wick down. This wick down here was sacrifice number 20. They decided to sell a third of their sacrifice amount. So I don't know whether the rest is staked. I haven't checked that wallet. You can check whether an account is staked or not. But they sold a third of their amount earlier. That's why we got this wick back here. But now we've just climbed back up. So very excitement. 2 days to go. Going to be great. Now the first game coming out, of course, is going to be the jackpot. And that previously was called Pulsepot, if you remember. That's the jackpot. And of course, that's basically where people put in cryptos. And of course, they have a proportional chance of winning. Every 5 minutes, it sort of spins a wheel. And if it lands on your part of the color wheel, based on your percentage chance of winning, then you will win. And you could earn multiple tokens, right? So it could have 5, 6, 10 tokens in there worth maybe $2,000 or $10,000, whatever it's going to be on that particular 5-minute game, and you win it. It's all just going to show up in your account on the blockchain. So it's going to be awesome. So very excited. You're also going to get 1 BNBP token. The native token is 100,000 tokens up for participation. It's kind of a launch phase bonus. And of course, that won't be, all those won't be paid out until the end, until they're all allocated. So they're not going to be hitting the market until at least the end of the launch phase there. And 100,000 tokens. 1 BNB is going to go in every single pot. Every 5 minutes, there's a pot, or a jackpot, I should say. And of course, one's going to go in there for every $100 that goes into that particular game. It's going to go another BNBP will go up there up to 50. So that would basically be around what I guess $5,000 in the pot. Will get the maximum amount there, and there's 100,000 in total. So if there's $5,000 pot every single 5 minutes, that 100,000 could go pretty fast, I guess. But I don't expect that to be quite that like that. But we're going to see some pretty interesting games going on there in that jackpot. The other thing, of course, is a referral program. So you can connect your wallet and get a referral program. So you can hit the referral, connect your wallet, and you'll be able to get a link there, and you can spread it around to people. People like playing these games; they'll play it. If they don't, they don't. Right? So that's pretty much it. It is a big existing market. So and of course, you will get 10% of the win. If they win, you get 10% of the winnings. So it's pretty nice, and of course, it gets the word out and keeps sustainability in the platform as well. Now, the next game coming up, of course, is going to be roulette. So the roulette's coming up, and that is all done. And I think they're just doing some finishing touches to the UI. We're then expecting the fortune wheel, then the price calls, and then sports bets, and then later on slots machines, which is obviously slots is huge. 60% of the volume of casinos is through slot machines. And of course, table games may be coming later on. Also, bingo is being talked about. So we'll see if bingo comes as well. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, you can actually, if you get the tokens, of course, you can stake them. You need a minimum of 5 BNBP to do that. And of course, the minimum stake period is 100 days. Now, the tokens will stay in your wallet, but you will be staked. So it's a little bit different from other mechanisms where your stake will stay in your wallet. So if you wonder why it didn't go, it's actually just been staked. All you have to do is look on here, and you'll see your stake will have a line down below here, which will have your stake. Also have a progress bar saying how far through your stake is. Now, obviously, there's an airdrop. And of course, this is the GCC. What's the APY? What are people going to get? Well, we don't know. It's a volume game, but hey, I've got to be pretty excited about it because the tokenomics are pretty crazily good, and we will find out. So no one really knows what actual volume will go. Everything has been designed to make it maximalized. There are so many fundamentals. You definitely got to check out my video on it if you want to learn more. Now, obviously, 75% of the profits So the fees on the platform are between 1.5% and 3%. If they're 1.5%, if the player holds some BNBP in their wallet, then it gets down lower and lower and lower. So it's in their advantage if they've got BNBP. And of course, they also get participation in the weekly lottery as well. So it's pretty nice. They've got Jacob's thought of everything on the site. Really is crazy. If there's it's the maximum fundamentals. So anyway, 75% will go to the monthly airdrop. So if you are staked, you will see the reward get in here, and it's got a countdown on there as well. You can also see the countdown over on the right-hand side. And of course, 20% is going to daily buy and burn. Now, we all get excited about Pulsechain and Pulsex because Pulsex is going to be part of the magic source. And of course, for every $1 billion that goes through the trading volume, $700,000 is going to go to buying Pulsex, the native token of the Pulsex DEX, which is going to be part of the Pulsechain ecosystem. It is really a huge deal. We've seen lots of people talk about it for a long time. Now, obviously, the BNBP is going to have a daily buy and burn as well, which is even better than you think. It's even better than you think because if people are staked so high, if there's so much stake, then there's so little on the market at the moment. So I think last time I did a calculation, there was something like just under 270,000 a liquid circulating supply. Now, obviously, that's the stuff that's going to potentially a buy and burn. So we have a liquidity pool. It's got like maybe 10,000 BNPP in it. That's going to be buy and burnt by the mechanism every single day. So it buys the token and it burns it. So it's a double whammy, not just a burn. And of course, the other thing is that as people, if they decide to sell, they'll go into that liquidity pool and they'll become part of that buy and burn mechanism, which is very, very nice for the price. So the price has a couple of really cool mechanisms. Obviously, the playing platform is $30. So if the price gets up to $30 and goes up, and the market price goes above $30, then they add 10%. So it's always in the interest of the players that come to get a BNB. So if maybe they've got some other tokens and they want to get a 10% playing premium, they're better off getting BNBP, right? Because they're going to get 10% more. And so that's the really clever stuff that Jacob's been thinking about. So that he has really not he's got everything in there to make this really fire. So very excited about this. Potential is really big, and yeah, it's going to be fun to see it play out. Now it is a business, which means it's not based on inflation or deflation and growth. It's based on people coming in, a separate business to the investors, which is kind of cool, right? That is the ultimate, I think, as well. So pretty cool. And so we're looking forward to see that play out. And we like more of this. This is real GameFi or DeFi, as we call it. Yeah, so a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. So very exciting. That is my Spotlight project at the moment. And looking forward to it. So it is launching, as I say, in less than 2 days now. Very, very nice. And yeah, so the price looking pretty good there. We had, look, someone just sold 50 BNBP, $1,124. That's probably at one of our, probably that one same culprit from earlier today. If they're deciding to exit the position. So just the way it goes. Now, what else going to say? I think that's pretty much it on there. So very exciting. Now, there's going to be a big launch, of course. There's going to be lots of YouTubers out there talking about this in 2 days' time. It really is great to see quality. This is a world's first, remember, world's first decentralized peer-to-peer crypto casino. And of course, this is a big deal. We don't often see that much innovation, comparatively speaking. We see a lot of people forking projects. And that's a bit sad, really. So this is the world's first for this. So it's a big deal too. So not only is it a great project with the fundamentals, but a world's first, kind of the icing on the top, as it were, or the cherry on the top. So cool. That is pretty much it. And all the links, as I say, are in the video description, or you can get on Discord and find the links here as well on the Spotlight project, which is under the Pulsechain projects. Very, very cool. So we got the Spotlight projects and we got the airdrop free claims there as well. So lots of juicy information there. And of course, if you want all the links for Pulsechain and Hex, get into our useful links because we've got all that stuff there. If you want to learn more about Pulsechain, of course, and Pulsex, which is coming up, Richard Hart, the founder, you can find all the links and videos here as well. He does encourage people to use Pulsechain and the Pulsex bridge, and just so you get used to that. When it does launch, it's going to be an absolutely fun time. Now, the cool thing about it being delayed as well, or at least be deferred in terms of launching, is the fact that the whole ecosystem on top of Pulsechain has been able to grow, right? It's been able to grow and get ready, because it really wasn't ready back in the day. It's getting pretty close to being ready now. We're already seeing a lot of the dApps come out, liquid loans. Power City's got their stuff coming out this month. We've seen Fiat's been out for a while, all these other A-listing projects have been able to get their stuff over the line. So it's actually played out pretty well. I think the timing's worked out really, really well. So cool. All right, so let's see what we're up to here. We've also got the Pulsechain proof of stake, so that's going to be cool too, right? So very nice. All right, so that's cool. Let's jump out of this stuff, and we're going to have the Hex daily stats come up soon. We're currently on day 1050. Woohoo! And of course, one day 1095 is 3 years for Hex, so we're only 45 days away from Hex's 3-year birthday party. It's going to be absolutely cool. And of course, we've got the hot off the press day 1049. Let's get into it, folks. The 16th of October. And of course, we've got the price at 3.167 cents, up 2%. So that's cool. We like price up. We've got the TShare payout, 6.177 is the Hex payout per TShare. And of course, that's really what people care about when they're staking Hex, because that's what they're getting paid. That's their little money printer. Their TShares are printing them Hex in that regard. The TShare price at the moment, $789. And the share rate there, look at that jump. It's finally been printed, 582.3 Hex. And of course, up to 24,902. We are so close to 500, crazy, 2,500, sorry. No, 25,000, I should say. That we are going to, it's just climbing so fast. Amazing. And of course, it's just going to keep going up and to the right. So I look forward to that. The average stake length, so the amount of time that people have invested, is 6.66 years. That's pretty cool. And the annual percentage yield rate, yield and emergency penalties is 37.65% based on the average length there. Liquidity in the pool is 292.5 million, so we've gone back under the 300 million. Obviously, this moves around between people buying and selling and also adding and remove liquidity. We've got $10,275,000 in the pool. I didn't even notice yesterday because I didn't talk about it yesterday. We had dipped below 10 million just briefly, so we bounced back from that. The amount of ETH there is at 1288. And of course, let's have a look at the TShares. So Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties, and we have an ownership pool. The ownership pool has TShares in it, and TShares stands for trillions of shares. And of course, if there's a change in the reward pool or the ownership pool, then your Hex payout per TShare changes. So that's a reward pool, an ownership pool, and if one of those changes a little bit there, then the Hex payout per TShare changes. That's pretty much it. So if you want to understand Hex, that's all you need to know, really, and then get yourself staked. That's pretty much it. Buy some Hex and stake. All right, so change in TShares there, 24,363. Obviously, with that big, large holders coming out, and that's the TShares there that have been adjusted. So cool. We were expecting that. Let's have a look here. So here is the increase in circulating supply, 188 million as a result, and a decreasing there of stake supply is 53 million. Netted out there. Let's jump over to the staked amount. 9.73% of Hex is staked at the moment. We've got just under 1 million penalties yesterday. And of course, let's have a look at the growth numbers. Wallets are up 65. And stakers are up 70 to 110,563. This is the main one I always care about because we want more stakers. And of course, they get rewarded for longer pays better. And of course, bigger pays better if they've got bigger pays, a bigger amount. But that's kind of what we like. And very, very exciting. So get out there, spread the word, as Richard always says. Direct promotional marketing is the best way to do that. So get out and do something like that. We got the total holders, of course, up 216 to 502,336. And of course, we crossed over 500,000, about 12, 13 days ago, almost 2 weeks now. It's happening pretty fast. We're on day 1050. And of course, our Hex payout per TShare is starting off close to 6.124x per TShare, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's pretty much Hex daily stats. And let's get into, I just wanted to shout out to the PulseTube because doing a great job there representing all the YouTubers in the Pulsechain Hex space. And I love the fact that the creative of the site is not only enhanced it really great, it's got everything you would probably want to know, but also is neutral. So it doesn't hold YouTubers to task about what they want to cover. People should be free. Part of the principles in Hex and Pulsechain is freedom. And of course, people should be free to cover what they want. And I think that's great, right? We want to also grow the communities. We want to reach out to other communities. And, that's what a lot of YouTubers do in the space. So we don't need gangsters jumping around the place, trying to force everybody to do what they say. We're not robots, So I think it's really important to get out there and talk about the merits of a project. You should always win an argument based on the merits of the project, right? So that's what you should do. And you spread the word about that. Doesn't mean that you can't cover stuff that may end up being crap or controversial or this or that. You should be able to do that. And we see quite a few people in the community doing that now. Now, I think that's pretty exciting. and argue on the merits of a project. That's what we do on this channel, as you guys know. And there's a lot of projects I don't talk about. Some projects I talk about, which are onboarding people to Pulsechain, and of course there's other projects that are huge pumpamentals, which I think are probable good plays. And of course we want to pump our bags now as well, and so we focus on those ones. So very, very exciting. All right, so in summary of that, of course, the plays at the moment they've got is Hedron play, the Pulse Bitcoin play, and the BNBPot play. Those are the three ones there. The first two are probables. The third one is a speculative, but the third one is very unique. It's not something that is your average spec play there. So very cool. Let's get into it. So this is the Pulse Tube. I will post this in the chat there, but it is in our links. So if you go to useful links on our Discord, scroll up there, you will find this site up here on the useful links, and you can see that here. So Pulsechain and Hex YouTube stream sites. The Pulse Tube, you can find the site there. All right, cool. Let's post that in the chat though, and I'm going to get into have a look at some of these. So let's jump over the top here and see what's been happening in the chat. We're going to jump back to the Hex price here, I guess. Let's go back into there, and away we go. We're up to an hour on the live stream, which is pretty cool. I've got a couple of videos coming out there. One of them I've been trying to do for 4 days, and I haven't got it out yet, which is going to be on, if you miss Pulsechain Sacrifice, then I've got a good video for you to consider, and around strategies about getting Pulse after the Pulsechain launch. So you can do that strategy today, though, so you don't have to wait. So we're going to talk about that in a video coming up there. The second one, of course, is I'm going to be doing one on Poly Maximus. So obviously the Maximus team there extending their reach over to the Hex HSI bidding there, and of course staking Hedron. So we're going to talk about that in the video coming out. Both of these coming out today. I have finished the presentations for both of them, so they are ready now. The other one took me 4 days because I kept on getting involved in social chats and other stuff, helping people with certain things. So I got distracted all the time, but this is the way it goes. We're a community, right? Got a community should come first. So yeah. All right, so let's see what else we got. A couple people in the house with the comments, so I'm going to try and fly through some of these. And let me just go up the top here. Oh, we got some spam in there. I hate the spam. Don't you guys hate the spam? It's just the way it goes. Where did I get up to here? I think I got up to there. We got Jonathan Cole. Hey, good to see you, Jonathan Cole. Woohoo! Hey, Jonathan, a pleasure. Patricia in here. Ahoy, folks. Good evening from Paris. Patty, good to see you, Patrice. Very, very exciting to see Patrice in the house. We got the fire emojis from Chance. Love that. Be of good cheer if you can, says Refine. I agree. Crypto League says, if I'm able to claim 50 million Pulse and 250 million Pulse X, do you think this is a good position, or would you accumulate more? I think you've got a very good position indeed there, Crypto League. So I think you'll be pretty happy with that. Now, if you want to accumulate more, obviously, that's probably one of my general strategies to accumulate more, but it's not investment advice. You need to do your own decision. But I think that's a very strong position. So you will probably do very well. Obviously, that's just my opinion. All right. Patrice in the house there. Yo. Good to see you, Sandy. And, of course, what else? Let's jump through some of these. Hex, you good things, says Jonathan. Yeah. So talking about the Hex chart here, it really is a nice little accumulation phase here on the Hex chart. And, of course, we'll talk about that many times. Now, remember, if the Hex price gets lifted up, then that benefits all the second layer derivatives, which we talk about, which is the Maximus products, the Maxi, Base Trio, Lucky Decimus, and, of course, the Team DAO token. It also benefits Hedron and Arcosa as well. It's time to pump the Hex. All right, so cool. Anyway, not your investment advice. What else we got going there? We got a couple more stuff going on here. Brennan says native stakes, perpetual stakes, Hedron, Arcosa stakes, soon PLSD stakes. In my opinion, stake out and win yang, says Brennan. That's pretty good advice. Very bullish on BNBP, says J-Man. Me too. That's why it's the Spotlight project. And it's pretty exciting. Now, people often ask me, what projects are good? What projects are good? So hopefully I've structured it so that you guys know. We've got Spotlight projects. If you want to know what I think the projects are good, I'm going to be posting that in there. We've got obviously the free airdrops and claims and minting, so you can do that to your heart's content. So you got all those things. So hopefully we'll bring a lot of these things to you. Now, obviously, always use security and safety as in terms of claiming anything that's new or using new dexes. You can always use a trading wallet, something like that, isolate the risk with its own seed phrase, things like that, hardware wallets and stuff. So make sure you always use your good security. You're going to get all kinds of plays. It's all good. No worries. Says Refine. What else? Let's jump through some of this. Sandy Beach's IMD token 2. Yeah, I think so too. Now I've got a third video coming. It's not one I made, but it's coming for the Internet Money Wallet. So that's coming out on this channel too. So it's going to be pretty busy. Maybe I'll leave one of my videos till tomorrow and queue that up. What else there? Let's jump over here. Refine says, keep your firewood dry and make things while RH produces your vehicle, says Refine. Nice. Heck yes, says Sandy Beach. What else there? Let's jump through some of this. Boop, boop, boop. Hit the likes. Great content, says Sandy Beach. I appreciate that, Sandy. And Crypto League, I think you've posted your comment a couple of times. Grow a plant. Okay, bye. Cheers, says Refine. Nice one. Mr. Superman. Hey, good to always see you, Refine. Buy the dips, says Brennan. Yeah, you can't go wrong with buying the dips on Pulse and Pulsex when it launches. That's kind of two obvious strategies that you can do. Typically, the first couple of months in a project are the best times to accumulate for those long-term big X gains. Let's have a look through some of these. Jump through. I love free stuff, says Sandy Beach. Me too. YouTube search the best Zen strategy, says Ryan. And what else there? We got BNBPot. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're actually going to change the name of Pulsepot. So I think they've obviously got BNBPots launched, but they're looking out for some new names. So we'll see what they come up with there. Bing Bing and Cha-Ching, says J-Man. Yeah, we're talking about the BNBP still. A greater 100% market fit, the best of DeFi principles. Yeah, really good point there. Big Kahuna, I mean, you summarized it really well. 100% market fit and best of DeFi principles. Really, really cool. So nice one. Boop, boop. Yeah. Kahuna. Hey, family channel, Big Kahuna, family channel. Yeah, so cool. What else there? We've got a couple other stuff there. Aussie Stone says, any Hexagon streamers looking for unique and badass music would be happy to let you use any of my songs, says Aussie Stone. Nice one, Aussie. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit us up in Discord around that. Let me look at some of the music. Very cool. Let's have a look. Got other comments. So we've got, let me just, do kangaroos make sounds? I'm pretty sure they do, Sandy Beach, but I'm not in Australia, so I can't remember any kangaroo sounds. I'm sure they must do that, though. They have a mouth after all. Jamie says, very happy with sacrificing Pulsepot. Yeah, 25x so far, and it's only warming up probably. Let's see how it goes. Let's have a look. Says J-Man said excited for Pulse, Pulsex, Hex, and Pulsepot. Nice one. Yeah, BNBPot. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to probably change the name there, J-Man, to be honest, as indicated yesterday. So if you haven't seen Black Hexagon YouTube video, they had an interview with Jacob yesterday, I think it was, on BNBPot. So definitely check that out. What else there? Janie says BNBP is going to pump tomorrow. I can feel it. Roulette is going to be huge, says J-Man. Yeah, that's the other thing with BNBPot is that a lot of people had were able to auction onto the actual roulette tables and own the tables themselves. It really is the world's first truly decentralized peer-to-peer crypto casino. Crazy stuff. We love it, and it's great to have the innovation in our space. It's so good. Let's have a look here. Daily buy and burn on BNBP. Yeah, absolute legend. Let the games begin. We're looking forward to that. I'll be covering that. I'll be doing a live stream on BNBPot launch on this channel. So that's going to be cool. There will be other YouTubers doing stuff out there too. So you can feel free to watch whatever channel you watch. Hit the like. Definitely hit the like there. What else there? We've got Patrice with the thumbs up. Love it. Use the Hex. Let it guide your transactions, Luke. I like that, Robbio. Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force, Luke, on the Hex. That's it. The Force is strong with you. It is indeed. I did force young Skywalker to push forward and be a better Jedi. Elon had to do his own thing. That's pretty funny. Hey, Hexen, good to see you. Good morning to you. I can't wait to see Richard Hart debate Dark Vader. Yeah. With the old throat trick. That'd be pretty funny. Pulsanian is in healthy. Yo, bro, what do you reckon about the beer? Winter we're freezing here. Hey, look, what beer, Mark? What beer? If you haven't covered this channel the last couple of months, we've just been covering pump project after pump project. We've had the Maxi first, then we had Hedron launch, then we had we do it. We had the Hedron launch first, and then we had the Maxi, and then we had the Koza and the Wattses. Then we had the Maximus Perpetuals and Team Token. It's been absolutely a riot. And of course, the second layer expansion of the Hex ecosystem has been crazy good. And man, it's been a lot of fun. And now we've got Pulsechain projects finally launching that are alpha. These things are innovative. They're the best fundamentals. And you guys know when I'm talking about something in depth, I'm trying to talk about the projects that are really, really good, or I'm trying to help people welcome them to the Pulsechain. So there's either those two things going on. If you're thinking why I'm talking about certain projects, there's reasons for it. If possible, you think you can make a tutorial on free airdrops or point out a video showing the explanations. Hey, I could do that, Christian. That is a good idea. And I'll look for doing that tomorrow. Yes, more airdrops coming. Yeah. So if you're in the Hex ecosystem, if you're in Pulsechain ecosystem, particularly if you're sacrifices, you can expect lots of airdrops. It's just been part of this whole community. It just keeps coming. I don't know any other community that has these airdrops like this that we just keep getting them. Boom, 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 boom. I think if I think about Hex stakes, I think we've had like eight kind of airdrops, and there's going to be more. It's crazy, man, crazy. So yeah, definitely is cool. Get Hex in the house. Hi, gang. Just popping in to say hi. Good to see you. Get Hex as always. Take care, everybody. It says Christian joining the Discord group chat. Lots of good info and awesome community. That is always helpful, says JMM. Yep. And will you be releasing the PLS and PLS6 strategy video today, Superman? Yes. Well, I should release it today because I've been procrastinating on it for the last 4 days. I got pretty close. I think I've got one slide. I have a couple of things to do on it, but definitely it's going to be cool. Everything that Superman has talked about has been a winner, says Christian. That's probably pretty true. I've had a pretty good success rate, but I don't try and talk about it like that because, it's not perfect, but it's been pretty good. Let me put it that way. Morning, guys. Pulsechain will go Godzilla Balik, says Robio. I love that. Yeah, Pulsechain will be good. Hey, so here's two things about the delay Pulsechain. So, we ended up getting Ethereum proof of stake fork, which I think is a better play. Good security, faster, environmentally friendly, and of course, upgradable with the ZK rollups and sharding, which means faster TPS. So, Vitalik was targeting 100,000. Now we get to benefit from all that. The other thing, of course, there was obviously issues with the BSC chain, and that was becoming difficult to get to market, and that was obviously a big thing. So we've actually got a good solution. It also means it's probably going to happen sooner. We also have the S-load function control, which is good for Hex as well. We'll see where that leads to when they launch. And of course, they have hinted that they'll make it probably be slightly faster as well. So I think it's going to be pretty good all around for that. The other thing, of course, is that all the projects that are building on top of it, which are very important for the ecosystem, we're landing a whole ecosystem. It's not just Pulsechain itself, which is going to be good. We're landing a whole ecosystem, PulseX, all these utilities that we talk about that are really good. Some of them are world's first innovations as well. They're going to be landing there as well. So very, very exciting, folks. We have already a big community as well. Was it 43,000 wallets for Pulsechain, something like 140,000 or something for PulseX. So that's a big deal. And of course, we have billionaires in the mix, like Overwatch, Rack and Michelle. He's been pretty quiet lately, building a lot of products as well. So it's going to be pretty nice. And OKX exchange, once the exchanges, we're going to have so many stable coins, honestly. We're going to have so native stable coins. We're going to have everybody come that said, no, we're not coming, but they'll be coming. Centralized exchanges, we're not coming, but they'll be coming. And, it's just the way it's going to go. So it's going to be pretty good when it lands. And of course, for me, probably more important is that a lot of these top utilities that are coming onto Pulsechain, they've had the time to finish. They weren't ready. 6 months ago, and they're only not even quite ready yet. They're getting close, some of them, but they probably need a few more months. So I think, it's working out pretty well in terms of the time frame. I think, and maybe with the market is also, if the market sort of peters out either November or December, maybe we're looking at a good chance to launch at the right time. So I think everything's lining up. The stars are aligning. As long as the interest rates taper off as tail off towards the end of this year, I think we might be in for a good ride at the right time. Everything will just be boom, 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 boom. And everybody will know pretty quickly. On top of that, of course, I think that even though a lot of communities sort of all over the place at the moment, I think that once it all drops, everyone will just be like, woohoo! Everyone will just come out of the woodwork, and they'll be excited, and everyone will be talking about it. A lot of the YouTubers that are quiet have been quite quiet. We've got like probably 130, 150 YouTubers, many of them being quiet. A lot of them will just get out there and start spreading the word again, and it's going to be a sunny day. It's a bit like having you know how you have a rain, it rains for like a week, and then suddenly it's sunny that day and you all come outside. Yeah, it's kind of be like that with that fresh smell of the daisies and stuff like that. So if you don't know what I mean, ask Sandy Beach. She knows what I'm talking about. Sandy Beach knows what I'm talking about on there. So cool. What else there? We got a couple other comments in here. Pulsechain says, respect, mate. Good comment here. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that big time. Stony Beach in the house there as well. Stony Beach. What the heck, Stony Beach? That's funny. Pulsechain to the moon. Come on, RH. Nice. And of course, Brennan says, cheers, cheers, cheers. That one of the things that RH always says, free money, says Kristen. That's true. That's true. Hey, we got Briz in the house. Hey, all. Hey, good to see you, Briz. Always a pleasure to see you, man. And of course, Sandy Beach as well. So cool. I always think of Briz like another brother from another mother kind of thing. And of course, I'm still waiting for Briz on the beach. Hey, look like Crypto Coffee front run you, Briz. Crypto Coffee front run you with the out in the street talking about crypto. And we had the idea way earlier, Briz. You could have done it. That could have been you on your channel. Your channel would have blown up. Your channel would blow up if you start doing stuff like Briz on the beach show. Honestly, Briz. Briz is not too worried about that, but I was just teasing him. Sorry I'm late. I got beat up by a bunch of Hex haters. Here's Briz. That's funny, man. Nice one. You can come back to the welcome back to the family. We'll look out to you. We'll look out to you here. Come on. You're welcome to. All right. Brendan says, I have my own accumulation strategy of PLS and PLSX, but I like to hear others to refine and define mines. Is Brendan. Nice. And Astro's in the house there. Good to see Astro. What else there we got there? We've got a couple more comments. Sandy Beach knows. She does know. Sandy Beach knows what I'm talking about there. Sure do. Salute a la Bresse. Salute a la Bresse. Yes, we suit you, Bruce. All right, cool. We're coming up to an hour and 17 minutes. Here we are on the Hex chart at the moment, 3.154 cents. You know how it rock and rolls. Big news today, of course. The share rate jumped by 582 to 24,900. 24,900, only 100 away from 25,000 on the TShare rate. It's only going up and to the right. And probably importantly, a lot of the short-term whales that have been staking, they just get diluted with the TShares. Longer pays better in Hex. All right, cool. That's pretty much it. So very, very nice. Let's just round up here with the current strategy. At the moment, I've got two probable calls. That is Hetron leading into the big HSIs coming up in November the 13th, 14th. And, of course, that's going to last for 2 weeks. The big day is going to be the first day. I'm going to be covering Poly Maximus, which is going to now allow a lot of small players to get together and bid like whales and stake like whales. So it's going to be pretty cool. Stay tuned for that. And, of course, that is the first one. The second one, of course, at the moment, we're waiting for Bitcoin, Pulse Bitcoin, and launch looks very imminent, like potentially, looks like this week, coming up. So it looks very, very close. The price is currently just moved up to $6.23. And finally, my speculative play, but really this is an epic project, and of course launching within the next 2 days. It's countdown time, and that's currently BNBPot there. So very excited about this. And of course, if we pull out my target there, see my target there. That's the $30 target, and of course we may, depending on volumes, we may blow past that. It depends on how many sacrifices that are still liquid as well. Like I said to you, I think I counted just below 270,000. Yeah, this is kind of where we are at this stage. I do expect a rush in staking in the next 2 days. So we'll see what that final staking result is as we lead into the launch. And then, of course, post-launch, we'll probably get some more stakers there too. Let's see how we get on there. If we get strong volume through, it's going to be pretty fun times. So that pretty much is the wrap-up. And, of course, if you haven't got into the Discord, the link's in the video description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I look forward to 2 or 3 videos coming from me. There's short-form videos coming out. Probably all today. Let's see if I can do it. If I can do it, drop me a line later on saying, well done, man. That was awesome. 4 videos in a day. You're insane in the membrane. And you'd be right. I'm pretty crazy like that. All right, we've got a couple more comments. Let's see how we're getting on here. J-Man says, yes, success rate on Hex Token has been excellent. Thanks, J-Man. Appreciate that. And what else there? Stony Beach says, my only accumulation strategy was to sacrifice as much as I could. Well done, man. That's so good. I love that. That's a good quote. Nice one. I have a big family, says Stony Beach. You do indeed. Have you met Pebble Beach, says Stony Beach. Yeah, that's funny. All right, there's so many beach jokes going on in the chat there. It's crazy. I like to take my son there to golf, lol, says Sandy Beach. And cousin Miami Beach was here the other day. And I hope there is what nosy wicked sister Algae Beach says. Yeah, that's true. Well said there, Patrice. All right, cool. Hope you guys like that one. I'll leave it on the BNBPot here, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Enjoy yourself, everybody. Let's play out the old. I've got 2 little videos for you. Let's enjoy and take care, everybody. Bye for now.
54. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is already better.